911 emergency, dispatcher 8144.
There were two guys fighting and there was 4 or 5 gunshots.
Police say Mario Fierro was shot and killed on a North Park sidewalk this morning.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
Mario Fierro was remembered as a leader at Cathedral Catholic High.
Mario was he was a great coach, mentor, teacher, friend.
There were a total of 7 shots fired.
It sounded like somebody was in a desperate situation. I remember that the gunshots were somewhat slow, methodical.
Definitely appeared to be an execution.
Your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir.
The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
It was an early Monday morning on February 1st. It was a beautiful sunny day.
At Cathedral Catholic High School in North San Diego, it was the first day of classes after the pandemic lockdown.
Excitement. We're getting back to life. We're getting back to, what we all wanted, which was normalcy and face-to-face interaction.
And the big news at the school was that 2 popular teachers were going to get married, Amy Gambara and Mario Fierro, who announced their engagement over the Christmas holiday.
Once he met her, he knew that that was the one. They really hit it off. They would go to church together and they would grade papers together, lesson plan together.
I think everybody loved it. Mario was a social science teacher, coached football, and he coached track and field.
Everybody stay safe, stay strong. We're going to beat this coronavirus.
He even helped to keep up morale during the pandemic.
We're going to see all you soon, healthy and happy. This is your captain, signing off.
Amy was a religion teacher, very positive, deeply faithful, a deeply faithful woman, which that was a nice compliment for Mario. Mario was very reliable. He was never late. Once it got close to 8 o'clock and Mario wasn't here, everyone started to panic.
So the school's principal called a senior police officer whose daughter attended the school.
I need you to do a wellness check on Mario Fierro, and it was silent on the other end of the line. He said to me, Kevin, it's not good. Mario was murdered this morning outside of his house.
San Diego police said about 7:10 Monday morning they responded to calls of shots fired on Kansas Street in North Park.
911 emergency, dispatcher 8144.
Hi, I'm on Kansas Street, and there's 5 gunshots. There were 2 guys fighting, and there was 4 or 5 gunshots.
Mario Fierro was pronounced dead at the scene after San Diego police found him shot and on the ground near his car. Police say they have very few leads about the suspect.
I was considering that maybe this was a potential robbery gone bad, attempted carjacking gone bad with the trunk lid open.
There was no surveillance video of the scene, but a camera down the street picked up the audio of the incident.
There were a total of 7 shots fired. I believe he was struck about 6 times. Majority of the rounds that struck him were all into the face and into the back of the head. Definitely appeared to be an execution.
It sounded like somebody was in a desperate situation. I remember that the gunshots were somewhat slow, methodical. There seemed to be a purpose behind the pauses between the gunshots.
Detectives first headed to the high school and turned their attention to Mario's fiancée, Amy.
When they brought Amy into my office to let her know that Mario had been murdered, she let out this scream of Yeah, just this scream of like sadness and crying uncontrollably.
Downtown, at the district attorney's office, prosecutors had feared this day might come.
It was very emotional, and my heart just shattered because we wanted to protect Amy, and we wanted to protect Mario.
Over the last year, Mario and Amy had appealed to the DA's Special Family Protection Unit for help.
Our office received information that Amy was a target of stalking by her ex-boyfriend, Jesse Alvarez. Stalkers not only target the object of their obsession, but many times they go after them and hurt them by targeting the people that they love.
Alvarez had been spotted again and again on the high school campus after Amy broke up with him.
He had applied for a number of teaching positions as a way to try to get on the staff here, and we were aware of the situation, and and I had actually communicated with him a few times saying, hey, we're not interested, thanks for your application.
Hey Amy, it's Jesse, how's it going? Hopefully you're well.
Jesse would post selfies of himself at the high school and leave repeated phone messages for Amy.
Hey, so I just wanted to call to say hey and ask if it would be okay if we could talk sometime. So yeah, that's all. Hope that your new school year is going well. God bless you and your students. And hope to hear from you soon. You know how to contact me, so thanks so much.
It all led Amy to seek a temporary restraining order against Jesse and then apply to make it permanent.
She was able to articulate that something was off, and she was scared. She knew that something bad was going to happen. Mr. Alvarez, in return, filed a very lengthy response, just attacking every single thing that she said and coming up with one justification after another. And Mr. Alvarez had given the court his word that he would no longer be contacting Amy, her friends, whether directly or indirectly, and the court took Mr. Alvarez's word.
He bamboozled the judge, ultimately, and the judge ended up denying Amy's restraining order request.
And within days, Jesse was right back at it, showing up again at the high school.
He came in kind of, incognito, and he tried to mix in like he was a Cathedral Catholic employee. He even jumped in a picture with other students from Cathedral Catholic.
He never stopped. He immediately went back into social media and added just under 100 clubs from Cathedral Catholic High School, was trying to friend all of her friends, her colleagues, was sending messages to them.
At one point, Jesse actually got a job in the school kitchen, whose employees are hired by an outside provider.
And I just went up to him and I just started asking him questions. Why are you here? And he was very evasive at first. And so I just said to him, I said, hey, do you know anybody on campus here? And he said to me, no, I don't know anybody. And I said, you sure? And he said, well, maybe there's somebody I know. And that's when I said, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I just said, you're not welcome on this campus. You need to leave.
Things came to a head when Jesse was in Peru on a Christmas family vacation.
On December 21st, there's an engagement announcement that goes out through the Facebook for Cathedral High School. And that sets him off. And he goes instantly into searching both Amy, the school, the campus. He starts mapping the campus. I'm talking hundreds of searches. But he escalates up to Christmas Eve where he's looking at hiring a hitman. If I shoot somebody in the head, can I kill him? He's trying to figure out how to get to Amy. He's looking at routes that our victim, Mario, might take to work.
In the early morning hours of February 1st, a car pulls into a parking spot across the street from Mario Fierro's apartment.
This was a man on a mission to kill.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend.
Students and staff at Cathedral Catholic High School are grieving the loss of a popular teacher and football coach.
Students were showing up crying at the scene. The school was devastated. They loved both Mario and Amy.
Mario was he was a great coach, mentor, teacher, friend. He's somebody you always could count on whenever you need help or whenever you're in doubt.
The best lead for the homicide detectives was what appeared to be the getaway car.
There was a witness that was driving by and that saw portions of what occurred.
She described a dark-colored sedan. It was a dark-colored Volkswagen hatchback.
Couldn't tell who was driving. I don't believe we could make out a license plate clearly.
But the presumption was that it was Jesse Alvarez who was behind the wheel, and that he would next target the high school.
They began evacuations. They had the school just completely surrounded. And I personally believe that the San Diego Police Department prevented a mass shooting at that school.
Another team was racing to find Alvarez, heading to his family's home in San Diego, where they found a Volkswagen hatchback parked outside.
We ended up doing a surround and call out where we had the uniformed members of our gang unit surround the home. Jesse was the final subject to exit the home. He was taken into custody.
You want to take your cuffs off, okay?
Thank you.
Ron Newquist and Christopher Leahy are highly experienced detectives in their field, and they're brilliant at what they do.
No karate, right? My kung fu. He's this very soft 30-year-old, comes across as kind of an oddball, but he's very cooperative, overly cooperative.
You guys are friends, you know, you guys are MAGA supporters too, Trump supporters, so.
He's like, I'm back the blue, and he was telling us how pro-police he was.
Mentioned you before, you know, I've been fully behind the Back the Blue movement this last year and very conservative, and, you know, I think it's appalling how law enforcement has been, you know, demonized and reputation's been hurt this last year. I think that's horrible.
And, you know, Ron and I are like, you know.
Real quick, Jesse, I'm Ron Newquist. I didn't introduce myself to you, but you know, he never asks us why he's there. He doesn't say, hey, am I here for a murder? Like, what are you guys doing?
So,
all right, so, like I said, I won't beat around the bush or anything else. You're 30 years old. You have no idea why we're here today?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. I work homicide. This is my boss here. We both work several cases. We went to an address today over in North Park on Kansas Street to a guy named Mario Fierro's house. Do you know Mario Fierro?
No, sir.
Okay. Never heard that name before in your life?
No, sir.
Okay. What about, did you date a girl named Amy?
We were friends.
Okay.
But we did not date.
Once we got on the topic of Amy and asked him about Amy, he developed what we call convenient amnesia.
Okay. Do you know Amy's last name?
I don't remember, I don't recall.
Okay. Gambara, does that sound familiar to you?
Sounds familiar, but I again don't recall.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking you about Amy is her boyfriend is this guy, Mario Fierro, who this morning was shot and killed outside of his apartment in North Park. So that's why. So Amy, we're looking at dating relationships she had with people.
I haven't talked to her in a very long time. So.
Okay. His body language, not defensive, no crossing of the arms. He thinks he's going to outsmart us and talk his way out of this. All right, and maybe I have the wrong Jesse. You go by Jesse, right?
Yeah.
Jesse?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever applied for any jobs at Cathedral High School?
I don't think so.
We start to crack the foundation of what he's saying, but very nice. We also have court documents with your name on it with Jesse Alvarez, where apparently she's tried to get restraining orders against you. Has there ever been a temporary or a permanent restraining order against you?
She once tried to file an order against me because I was trying to contact her about something, but you know, we went to court and I very clearly explained, like I just did to you right now, that we were just friends and that she lied about me and it was dismissed.
Okay.
So. And
that, okay, yeah, and I did hear that as well. Okay, so at least we established we're talking about the right Amy Gambara, and then you're definitely the Jesse Alvarez she mentions.
I think she is just a very kind of desperate, insecure individual, and I'll be completely frank with you, like she, just is kind of very aggressive emotionally, and she, I think has some kind of maybe histrionic mental disorder or something like that.
Are you aware that she was engaged to a guy named Mario? No. Okay.
By then, detectives at the scene had reported back that the getaway car was actually owned by Jesse's brother.
We find our victim's DNA on the steering wheel and on the floor mat.
Do you drive your brother's car?
No.
Okay.
I drive my Toyota Prius.
Okay. This morning, did you drive your brother's car? Just by...
I did not.
Okay.
So I try to bring his mom into it because I know he's very close to his mom. And I said, your mom's a great woman. Don't put her in this position.
So when you were taken into custody today, because we do believe you were involved in it, your mom was interviewed by another homicide detective. She says, you know what? My son left at 6:30 this morning. He left in my other son's car without his permission. Car. He returned an hour and a half later, and he claimed he'd been on a hiking trail. Did you tell your mom this morning you went hiking, or did you go on a hike today?
I did exercise in the morning, but...
Where at?
I went to Pacific Beach.
In your brother's car?
No, I was in my car, so that's weird.
Okay. Your mom tells us this morning that you purchased a gun or got a gun on January 15th and had it painted white. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
Detectives at the Alvarez home found the white gun and a white rifle in the garage.
He recently just got them Cerakoted to appear as if they're stormtrooper guns, which kind of piqued our interest because one of our witnesses described seeing a white plastic-looking thermometer.
And his mother also told detectives that her son had been practicing with the guns at a nearby firing range.
You practiced with that gun? Your mom says you did. That's why I'm asking. I'm not trying to trick you. So.
Right. Yeah. No. I have gone to different
When's the last
ranges.
time you went and shot it?
Let's see, like a little over a week ago.
Okay.
I practiced at a range.
Are you the one that shot Mario in the head with the white gun?
No.
Okay. But you're a smart guy. You traveled all over the world. You got to relate. What do you think should happen to somebody that does something like that? That kills another person?
Oh, that person should go to prison. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And then I went to Amy. I said, she's gutted. You've destroyed her.
I mean...
And then he catches his breath and he wants to spit it out, but he can't.
I know you're at war in your mind. I've seen it before. You're fighting yourself. Like, do I just let it go and tell the truth, or do I?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just, trying to gather my thoughts. I did I don't know where to begin.
At the beginning. It's simple.
One of the ways I like to interview, especially homicide suspects, they try to get as far away from you as they can. So I purposely position the table closer to them and put my chair closer to them.
You're obviously a guy that cares about people. What makes you drive there this morning?
I did want to talk to him.
Yeah.
And, kind of just like we're having a man-to-man conversation, just sort of say, hey, and then I went up to him and just started to engage him, introduce myself. But as soon as I did, he got really, really angry and aggressive. Instantly.
He cracked right away, and gives it up, but he's already setting up a self-defense.
Like he said, oh, you're Jesse, and he started saying, you MF, cussing at me and stuff, and I said, hey, calm down, I just wanted to talk with you. And then he did actually try to grab me, He aggressively attacked me first.
There was a fight.
I acted out of retaliation. I did not initiate anything.
And then this never happens in homicide interviews, but Detective Leahy says, hey, do you mind reenacting this?
Do you mind standing up and using me as a...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know to what extent I'll be able to, like, accurately recall everything. But
He's lower than you, correct? And can you put my
That's
hands...
because he lunges at you like this. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like this?
Yeah, like grabbing me.
And then how do you shoot him with the headshots, the face shots? How does that happen?
Like, I just remember shooting downward.
Okay, so he's lower. Is this accurate?
Yeah, that seems accurate. Like, he's like holding on to me.
But you're body to body when this happens. I mean, you're that close to each other. This is close.
Well,
yeah.
Is it more like, is my head the same distance? Or is it closer? Like, can you push? You can push my head. I'm not. I trust you.
Honestly, I only recall like just him like in the position you're talking about, and me just firing downward as if like let go of me.
Like this? Okay. And then how many of those rounds were fired when he was down below you?
I don't recall exactly, but
we got 5 casings at the scene, 1 unfired round, so that's 6, but five rounds appear to have been fired.
So what he described to us was inconsistent with the crime scene evidence, but instead he chose to lie because what he did wasn't perfect self-defense. It was premeditated murder.
So you shoot him, and there's like a pause. I mean, you kind of walk to your car, or what do you do? Like, what do you say anything to him? Do you just...
Honestly, I was just in shock, and I didn't even.
Did you think you might have killed him though? I'm just asking that, Jesse. Like, as you drove away, you're like, "Oh my God, I just killed the man, or I might have."
Honestly, I didn't know. It looked like he was just unconscious.
Okay, but I am going to tell you that his wounds were catastrophic. Like, I mean, unfortunately, there was brain matter all over the ground. But that's not something you recall the amount of blood. Like,
no.
It didn't go on your shoes or pants or you.
No.
All this happens, and you don't call 911, correct?
Right.
You don't go to the 7-Eleven or get off at a gas station and use a payphone or ask them to call 911, correct?
No.
Meanwhile, in getting updated on the progress of the search warrant while this is going on. You'll see me on the interview getting texts and I'm looking down, but they find all this damning evidence. Jesse still has pictures of him and Amy on the shelves, but he's like a cathedral billboard for the high school with hats and clothing.
I intend on going through your phone because that's something we have to do. Would you allow us to go through your phone?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I don't have anything to hide.
But a search of Alvarez's internet activity was another goldmine of evidence.
The night before the murder, he went to YouTube and watched an instructional video on how to shoot a firearm without flinching. So he watched that, went to bed, and the next day killed Mark.
So let me tell you this tonight, and I appreciate you. I mean, we had a normal conversation here. This is not going, it's going to be kind of a long, drawn out, somebody died, it's a homicide. There's nothing more serious that we take more serious than the loss of a human being.
Oh, absolutely.
In law enforcement and what society deems, the most serious crime. With that being said, tonight you are under arrest for murder.
But his parents hired one of the city's top defense lawyers who helped to fashion a novel self-defense theory that Jesse Alvarez was on the autism spectrum.
Obviously, this was a terrible tragedy and a crime, but if you take Jesse's autism out of the picture, I think Mario would still be alive today.
Good morning. We're heading out to San Diego for opening statements in the case against Jesse Alvarez, the jilted lover accused of killing his rival, a beloved high school teacher, Mario Fierro.
Alvarez's lawyer said he needed a cane after being injured during fights with other inmates.
When I first saw him at court, he kind of looked like the shell of a person. I was there every day. I felt like I had a right to know what was happening, what was being said.
It's the Jesse Alvarez show. It always has been. Everything's about him. His ego, his bruised ego, his sense of needing to have power and control. So I wanted the jury to see that this is a man on a mission to kill.
Evidence shows that he waited almost an hour for Mr. Fierro to walk out of his home. And then he murdered him. He was just getting ready to go to work. He was unarmed. He had no idea that the defendant plotted a surprise attack.
For its opening, the defense told the jury that a new medical diagnosis would explain why Jesse felt he had to shoot Mario.
You're going to hear evidence in this case that Mr. Alvarez suffers from autism spectrum disorder. In other words, he's autistic. And Mr. Alvarez falls in the category of a high-functioning autistic person.
So it wasn't diagnosed until this case. I know that there's some people that think and misinterpreted it as us using autism as an excuse to get a murderer off. And that's not what we were doing.
Social situations are a very hard part of Mr. Alvarez's life. And he doesn't always look at things the way someone who does not suffer from autism looks at life, or looks at relationships. Mr. Alvarez is going to tell you that at that point, Mr. Fierro came toward him, assaulting him, hitting him. Mr. Alvarez will tell you that he finally took the gun out and pointed it at Mr. Fierro's body. He said, "Stop, just stop," as he kept backing up. Then Mr. Alvarez unfortunately then shot 5 more times.
Someone in his situation with that disability was using reasonable force based on what he believed was happening.
It was so insulting to use that as a defense. It's so insulting to the autism community.
The prosecution began its case with Amy, who described Jesse's stalking.
I saw that the defendant attempted to get into my apartment. I knew that I didn't feel safe because I told him no.
To show premeditation, the prosecution called a trainer from the firing range, Colin Vaz.
He had asked me where is the best place to shoot someone to kill them. I corrected him and told him that we do not shoot to kill someone, we train to stop a threat. But then he asked me a follow-up question. He said, well, what about the back of the head?
Is it fair to say that they jumped out at you because that's not a common question that you get in these classes?
It is not common.
The prosecution closed out its case with the video of Alvarez confessing to the shooting.
Me just firing downward as if like, let go of me.
Like this?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And with Detective Christopher Leahy on the stand, the prosecution played the audio of the shots fired.
What was most notable to me was the passage in time, the prolonged passage of time between the first gunshot to the second gunshot.
The audio was important because you could hear the cadence of those shots. It's so eerie.
So now the stage was set for Jesse Alvarez to take the stand and tell the jury why he believed he had to shoot Mario Fierro.
We knew that Jesse was going to testify from the beginning and that he was going to explain what exactly happened.
You had trouble controlling your impulses.
My, autism disability that I say in retrospect, because I did not know at that time, I couldn't take the hint. I just, to me, it just went over my head. And
All right, so you're down in Peru, you found out Amy got engaged, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Shortly thereafter, you Google hire hitman San Diego. I do that.
So, I think that, part of my emotional reaction was that, I felt kind of just robbed, I guess. Like I just all of a sudden I was replaced so quickly, and so I started having these bad fantasies of just like wishing that he was gone or dead or not there anymore. And
Alvarez testified that as he arrived in the early morning hours outside Mario's apartment, God spoke to him.
I parked, and then I started praying. I just started asking the Lord our God for just some wisdom, guidance, and sign discernment as to how to most peaceably and amicably talk with Mr. Fierro and address the concerns that I had.
Okay. So Mario, you see Mario come out of his apartment?
Well, I said, "Good morning, Mario. How are you? My name is Jesse Alvarez," and then, he began to cut me off, and he looked directly at me and he said to me, "You, I'm gonna kill you."
The hardest parts were definitely hearing Jesse Alvarez testify. It was hard for my dad. He was not happy with the lies that Jesse was telling, that Mario was like attacking him.
He tried to grab onto my neck as if to strangle me. I again tried to push him away and said, please stop, but he wouldn't. And so I had my arm up, just trying to block him from his advances, and I pulled out my firearm and I showed it to him just to say, stop. And I thought when he would see the firearm, he would stop, but instead he tried to seize the firearm from my hand, and we were wrestling over it, and he started to point it towards my direction, and then he got his fingers around the trigger and he pulled it, and the gun discharged. I shot him in the back, and he stopped, and I put my gun down. He went to his knees, and I just, I stopped, and then he got up from his knees and looked at me again. And he said, "I'm gonna kill you," and he rushed me again. And I just aimed downward. I shot. We had a back and forth, and he got lower and lower to the point of stopping. And I was just in such trauma and shock of what happened that I didn't know what to do, and I just left, and I got in my car and I drove away.
No further questions.
All right, cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Alvarez, you told us yesterday that when you saw this photograph, you went through a series of emotions, correct?
Yes.
I wanted to put the picture up of Amy and Mario's engagement post because that was the trigger.
You testified yesterday that you were wishing, after you saw this photograph, that Mr. Fierro was gone or dead or not here anymore, correct?
I believe, yes, that is what I said yesterday.
Now, Ms. Gambara made it crystal clear to you that she wanted nothing to do with you, right?
She did communicate that.
You researched the best place to shoot someone in the head to kill them, correct?
Again, yes, a question I already the answer for. A question I already knew the answer for.
You did shoot Mr. Fierro in the back of the head, correct?
That's what the evidence shows.
Did you shoot Mr. Fierro in the back of the head? Yes or no?
That's what the evidence shows. I don't independently remember that.
You didn't just shoot him once in the back of the head, Mr. Alvarez. You shot him twice in the back of the head, correct?
According to the evidence stated, then yes.
I just want to be very clear. You were the one who killed Mr. Fierro, right?
Yes, I've testified to that.
You put 6 bullets in his body, correct?
Yes, I understand that.
You put 2 in his forehead, right?
Yes.
And you put 2 in the back of his head, right?
Yes.
And you also shot him in the back, right?
Right.
Now, you even researched how to get away with killing someone, including looking up California self-defense laws, right?
Right.
Now, Mr. Alvarez, will you remind us, what defense are you going with in this case?
Of course, self-defense.
And you're testifying to us twice now that that was the most traumatic day of your life, correct?
Yes, ma'am. As I've described, I almost died, and my family were violently arrested by the police.
He brutally executed a man simply because that man was in love with his ex-girlfriend. But it was the worst day of Jesse Alvarez's life.
No further questions.
The final witness for the defense was the clinical psychologist they hired to test Alvarez.
Were you able to come to a conclusion regarding Mr. Alvarez suffering from a particular mental disorder?
Yes, I diagnosed him with autism spectrum disorder, and I also diagnosed him with obsessive compulsive disorder.
The things that I wanted to point out, that Mr. Alvarez can still act with intention.
A person with autism can purchase a gun, correct?
Correct.
They can go to court and be able to testify at a hearing, correct?
Correct.
In other words, people with autism, they can still have goal-oriented behavior, correct?
Absolutely.
I have no further questions. This is Mario Fierro, and he's no longer with us. In December of 2020, he proposed to Ms. Gambara. On December 21st of 2020, the defendant, Ms. Gambara's possessive and obsessive and jealous ex-boyfriend, saw that announcement. Mr. Fierro was already dead by that time. Because when the defendant saw that, he had methodically plotted out his execution. An execution that he ended up doing on February 1st of 2021. This is not a self-defense case. And frankly, it's insulting. It's insulting. The defense is going to come up here because the defendant is claiming that this was self-defense. And then he's going to tell you that it has to do with his diagnosis. And that's just insulting as well, because he knew exactly what he was doing. He had a goal, and he obtained that goal. And that goal was to murder Mr. Fierro. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. McCarthy.
Morning. Obviously, Jesse could not get over maybe more than any of us have ever seen.
Defense lawyer Peter Blair told the jury Alvarez's autism diagnosis was the key factor in the self-defense argument.
You got to see how Jesse just doesn't get it at all when it comes to dealing with other humans. And it's always been a problem. He's a smart person. We know people that suffer from autism are not dangerous people, and that's not what we were trying to imply whatsoever. In fact, it's just the opposite. It was that there were certain things that Jesse just didn't get that put him in a terrible situation, and his behavior, I think, is reflected by those symptoms. Jesse Alvarez was defending himself. It was not murder. I ask that you vote that way. Thank you.
And happening right now, jury deliberations continuing in the murder trial against Jesse Alvarez.
The jury was out for Friday afternoon, then a weekend, and then most of Monday.
I was thinking, holy might have actually won this thing.
All right, the people of the state of California versus Jesse Milton Alvarez. Verdict count 1, we, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant.
Hey, man, it's Jesse. How's it going?
Jesse Milton Alvarez.
If you could please call or...
Guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
He seemed like he didn't want people to be looking at him. I don't hold anger for him. I don't even know if I pity him. I guess I'm kind of disgusted by him.
Jesse Alvarez was brought into court in a wheelchair after banging his head against the floor in what prosecutors said was another apparent attempt to delay the sentencing.
He found a host of ways to manage a continuance after another continuance after another continuance, which is just, again, it's about him.
Your Honor, Ms. Amy Gambara is here present virtually, and she would like to make an impact statement.
Mario Fierro was my beloved fiance who was maliciously murdered by Jesse Alvarez. One moment, Mario and I were planning our wedding. Then the next moment, our loved ones were planning his funeral.
The level of disrespect that he gave them, it's not surprising, but he just kept his head down the entire time. You couldn't even look at them.
Though I am here 4 years after Mario's life was taken, I am ready to leave behind the label of victim and trade it to survivor. I stand for those whose voices cannot be heard. I stand for women who have experienced domestic violence, not here today, who had to deal with men who cannot take no for an answer.
His conviction carried a mandatory sentence of life without parole or the death penalty.
We didn't want to pursue like the death penalty or anything like that. We wanted life without parole. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, as Gandhi said.
He's had his face down on the table now for 50 minutes. It's the court's opinion that everything we've watched in court since the verdict has been theatrics. And he's a cold-hearted killer. This is as cold-hearted as you can get.
So it was life without parole, with the judge adding 25 years more for the charge of lying in wait.
Nothing bring Mario back. But there is a sense of justice that he's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars, and he's never going to be able to stalk Amy again, hurt Amy again, or hurt anybody that she loves.